Welcome to Subramani. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell icon. I've not been saying it regularly enough, but I know you will learn to do it. And okay, the gist of my videos is I'm doing this because I'm having fun doing this. So I'm not doing you a favor by making these videos, and I'm sure you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're learning. I can also say, look, I don't really care whether you're learning, because I am going to anyway make these videos. So if you want to watch this, great. If you don't want to watch this, great. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is, one regulator told me after he retired that, Subra, you're doing more for investor education than what we are doing with much bigger budgets. So I'm not even now proud that I'm doing it or things like that. But just look at my videos, read it, watch it, understand it, and share it with your family, maybe with your grandmother, maybe with your mother, maybe with your children, depending on your age. Because I'm going to today talk about learning to save money. Believe me, learning to save money is more important than investing, because only when you learn to save will you invest a reasonable amount. So the percentage returns is what many 22-year-olds will ask me and say, what return should I expect here? Honestly, it doesn't matter what returns you get on your 5,000 rupee SIP, because the return should matter to you only when you are 45, 50 and you have created a corpus, right? Of course, if you're a sportsman and you've already created a corpus by the time you're 27, that's a completely different thing. But I'm talking of the ordinary person. Right now, the percentage that you should be bothered about is, what percentage of my income am I saving? That's more important. It's easy to live hand to mouth. How much is your take-home salary? 1,28,000. How much are you paying for rent? No, I'm staying with my parents. How much are you paying for food? No, I'm staying with my parents. How much are you spending on entertainment? Well, not much, because when we go out, my father pays through his credit card. Fantastic. So technically speaking, you can save 1,28,000. Let's say you spend 10,000 on yourself, 15,000 on yourself, which means you can do SIPs worth 1,13,000. What percentage of your income are you saving? I'm not putting a number to it, because if you are staying with your parents in your city where you know a lot of people and you are comfortable using public transport, say a city like Mumbai, on 1,28,000 you can actually save something like 1,10,000. Easily. You just don't need to spend more than 18,000 on yourself, and I'm being liberal for a 24-year-old or a 25-year-old. But it doesn't happen that way. People think investing is more important, and what return I get. What return you get depends on the corpus that you have accumulated. Because why is saving so important? First, it builds a financial foundation. Only when you save, you don't know where to invest, it's fine, just do an RD. See how much you can save per month. See how much you're saving per month. See it on after 3 months or 6 months or whatever, and see how much money you have actually accumulated in the RD. Are you able to save a number which keeps you happy? Are you able to save 20%, 30%, 50%, 90%? I don't know, because if you're supporting a family and you have younger brothers' school fees to pay, younger sisters' school fees to pay, then obviously you will be saving less. I'm not getting into that. I'm saying see how you are living, see on what you're spending, and for this 2-3 things are important. One, either use an app or use an Excel sheet to record your expenses and look at it every day, because when you look at your expenses every day, it's like a diary. You then wonder, why did I eat out at 5 o'clock, or why did I eat out at 6 o'clock when I knew that I was getting healthy dinner at 7:30 at home and I was reaching home at 7:30? What was the problem? Why did I eat this? Is it for taste? Was I really hungry, or was it with friends? See what happened, right? So all these expenses, when you sit and write and you look at it the next day or that evening itself, you say, oh, I need to stop this. Exactly like maintaining a food diary. To reduce the amount of food that you eat, to reduce the amount of sugar that you consume or carbs that you consume, whatever, if you write down, you can wonder and say, oh my god, every day at 4 o'clock I'm having a pang and I'm eating some nonsense in the office. Why don't I keep some protein biscuits with me or some protein powder with me so that I can have that? If you have a protein powder at 4 o'clock, I don't think you're going to feel hungry before 7:30, right? So these are the ways you manipulate yourself. So exactly like this, you start your building yourself a financial foundation from which to invest. Only when you save, you have money, and then you can invest. So if you are a beginner, you may want to save up at least say 5-6 months expenses and keep it as an emergency fund. For where will it come from? You are starting at the age of 24 in the first job and you think you need 5 lakhs of emergency funds. I'm not getting into why 5 lakhs. Then you have to put money away, and maybe after 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, you have built it up. So your first line of defense, your emergency fund is now ready. After this safety net is created, you buy yourself some term insurance, you buy yourself medical insurance, assuming your company is not giving. You buy medical insurance and term insurance for your brother. You buy medical insurance for your parents. Having done all this, you now have a surplus which to invest. So to start investing, you may have to first save, create these safety nets, and then start investing. Without this safety net, investing can be very risky and you might need to liquidate investments at a loss during a crisis. Exactly in March 2020, if you had a crisis and you did not have any other assets, you would have sold your equity at a very bad price, right? That shouldn't happen. You need to create that cushion, and that cushion will come from your savings. And obviously this amount is now available for investing. You need the money to have, you have to have money to invest, right? Maybe you don't need to have a big amount of money. Maybe you can start an SIP with 3,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees or 9,000 rupees, whatever, 5,000, whatever number, but you need money to invest. So saving consistently accumulates the funds necessary to start investing. You don't need to do it, but if you do it and you create a financial cushion, which is your emergency fund, your term insurance, your medical insurance, etc., it makes you a little more comfortable so that you don't have to sell in a distress, whether in shares, real estate or other assets, because many of these assets could even be extremely illiquid. So if you have started buying, if you bought a house and you have started paying the EMI, please understand this is not an asset in the real sense, because you will never be able to liquidate this at a good price in case of an emergency. So this is like a sunk thing, right? So don't fool yourself into believing, oh, I got this house, whenever I want I can raise money. You can't raise money against real estate in this country. It's not going to be very easy. Gold, yes. Equity, yes. Mutual funds you can redeem, but real estate is not a liquid asset, and therefore before you enter things like mutual funds also, you need to create that emergency fund for yourself. If you save well and you've created all these buckets of money, you will have one huge thing. You will have self-confidence. You will feel confident that, look, I have been able to save this. So even if something happens and the market falls, I will have enough money to put in so that I don't have to worry about the short-term day-to-day fluctuation. This is a huge thing, right? It obviously gives you ability to invest with a clear mind, focusing on the long-term goals, and rather than have some immediate financial pressure of saying, oh my God, I have to pay this bill. Shall I put 50,000 in something, double it in a week and then pay for 1 lakh? You don't have to do such terrible deals which will never work. Obviously, having a cash cushion mitigates risk, and investing definitely involves risk, whether it is real estate, whether it is equity, whether it is equity mutual funds, direct equity, doesn't matter. If there is high standard deviation, you are going to have a problem. And while investing is crucial for building wealth over a period of time, obviously it helps your money grow faster than keeping money in a bank account and losing to inflation. Saving is a prerequisite. Also, today investing gets taxed. I mean, investing gains gets taxed at 12.5%, whereas interest on bank deposits, etc., will get taxed at 30%. So think of the taxation angle also. But before thinking of all that, see the virtues of being able to save save money. RBI came out with the report saying 55% of the loans, yes, 55% of the loans are being borrowed for consumption. There is one finance NBFC in which I will never ever invest, who sits in Bombay in sari shops giving loans to people for 5,000-6,000 rupees to buy saris, and this has to be repaid in installments over 3 years. Where are we headed? We are headed towards saying, okay, people think it is okay not to save money, just go and live your life because you don't know how long, kal kya hoga, kisko pata, so you know, that kind of a thing. I think it makes no sense. Your saving, your ability to save is a bedrock of your financial health. It enables you to invest wisely and not worry about 1 year return and 2 year returns and 3 year returns. Normally, if you have 2-3 years of bad returns, 1 year will be so high, you will forget all these 3 bad years, right? So this will also help you weather uncertainties, and say once the saving habits are solid, investing can amplify your wealth. But if you don't have that ability to save, go ahead, build it. Whom better to ask? If you're young enough, ask your grandmother. If you're old and if you're older and you only have your parents to ask them. They have done it in the past. Thank you.